Live from the Mirrorball studio in Royal Berkshire, this is Chris Reardon.
Indeed it is, at 2 minutes past midnight on a Monday morning, Sunday night into Monday morning. A very good evening to you, gang. We're trying something new this evening. I've booked the next 4 weeks to be able to do this sort of between 12 and 1 o'clock in the morning. Although I've got to admit, I'm feeling a little bit tired. I'm not used to being up at this time really anymore, doing something other than perhaps on the last part of my journey coming back from work. And so I was sort of looking at this clock here in front of me, get that half 11. Oh, do you know, I feel a little bit tired now, but hopefully you're going to make me stay awake. Something brand new, a little bit of a chat show come phone in we're doing this evening. You can phone in about anything you like, really. What I will say is that I can only take one call at a time. I was looking around on the Skype. I'm sure, because I have a Skype in number, which is just basically a phone number for you to call in. The number I'm going to give you is a local London number, okay? It's not a premium rate number in any way, shape or form. So if you call it, it'll just be like ringing one of your mates down the road, okay? It's not a premium rate or anything like that. It's a local London number. I can only take one phone call at a time. So if you call while we're doing the show and it goes to an answer phone, that means someone's already on the phone and you've got to wait for that call to finish before I can take another one, okay? I can only do sort of one at a time. I did look around on the Skype. I'm sure I at some point had a personal answer phone message on there. But now it's like an American message. Don't let that put you off. You're not calling America, okay? It's like an American voice on there, and doesn't seem to be a way of changing it at all, strangely enough. So if you get an American lady say, thanks for calling, you know, this person isn't available at the moment, it just means that someone else is talking to me on the phone, if indeed anyone calls in, all right? The only thing is you will need to send your phone number. Won't be taking any numbers that are withheld or blocks numbers or anything like that, because what tends to happen is that people either just put the phone down or they shout and swear and that sort of thing. Oh, blimey, that was quick, wasn't it? That was very quick this evening. There we are. Got an anonymous call trying to come through straight away. Did you actually hear that ringing then? You shouldn't have heard that ringing. I don't know why that was ringing then. You shouldn't hear that ringing. Hang on, let's try. We'll try that again with that fader down there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll try that again. So yes, all I will say is that you need to send your phone number. Anonymous or withheld numbers won't be taken, because what tends to happen is that people just ring up, quickly swear, and then bang the phone down. Now, you can't really do that if you're sending your number, because it's easy for me to block it at this end, all right? So you need to be sending your number. The number to call, which is open right now, is... Are you ready? 020 8144 3477. Okay, it's a London number, local London number, 020 8144 3477. As I say, you can call in for anything you want, or I'll give you a couple of little bits and pieces to perhaps talk to us about. John's there. Good evening, John. 020 8144 3477 is the number. I'll keep giving that out today. Got to say hello to Gary Ross texting in there. There's a text number as well if you want to text in. And Gary says, looking forward to hearing Danny's call, as he reminds me of the Frank Sinatra song, Strangers in the Night. Oh, yes. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, wandering. I don't know if Dan's around, actually. I have no idea if anyone will even be up at this time. There we are. Let's take a call there. I don't know why you're hearing that ring. You shouldn't really be able to hear that ring. I know you can. Who's on the line, please?
Hi, Chris. It's Mark.
Hello, Mark.
And Elijah.
Mark and Elijah. Hello, Mark and Elijah. How are you tonight, all right?
And Natalie as well.
And Natalie's there. Good. Let me just try and push you up a little bit. You're looking a little bit low here for some reason. Let's try.
I do apologise. I'll look a bit. I'll try and perk myself up, shall I?
I don't know where you're coming through on, actually. I think you're coming through on somewhere else where you shouldn't be coming through on. Just talk a minute, would you?
Okay, I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
Hello, Chris.
Yeah, I see what's
Can you
going on.
hear me now?
Yeah, I see what's going on there. You're coming through a different system to what you normally were. But
Oh, dear. That's not good.
That's, it's okay. We can do that. Mark and Natalie in Welsh. Wales in the HGV television area, aren't you?
Yes, and I've got my friend Elijah. He's on Discord. He's all the way over in the Philippines.
Oh, is he really? Is he with you as well?
Yeah.
Did you say? Or
he's
is
on Discord with me. I've got one ear on the phone and one ear on Discord, so I'm talking to him and I'm talking to you at the same time.
He's on what? Discord?
Discord.
What is that then?
It's a bit like Skype, but it's used mostly when people are doing gaming online.
Oh, it's a gaming thing. What's the other one that's more popular than that? Is it Twitch? Twitch? Does that sound right?
Twitch is a streaming platform where people stream their games, whereas Discord is more like a social platform for people that play different games.
Oh, okay. Do you play a lot of computer games, Mark?
Yes, I do, when I'm not on the radio.
Is that you or Mark or Natalie as well?
Just me. Natalie does play. She has a Nintendo Switch, and she plays games on there. She likes playing Mario Kart.
Oh, Mario, yeah. I played Mario years ago when it first came out, Super Mario. I'm just trying to think of the tune. Can you sing me the Mario tune, please, and I'll remember it?
Goodness me, I don't know what that is.
Oh, come on. There's a Mario tune, isn't there? Like the Tetris. I know the Tetris one. Da, 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 da. That's going back some years, isn't it, Tetris?
Oh, right. Elijah's gone in my ear. Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 da,
there we go. We've got it.
I love the little game, the game tunes and that. They're fantastic. And the Pac-Man one, that's a bit basic, isn't it?
Maybe you should have that as your feature in your morning show. A game theme or something.
Game theme.
To take people's nostalgia back.
Well, they turned the Tetris song into a song, didn't they?
They did, yes.
There is a
I've heard that one.
I had that on 12-inch at some point when I was buying vinyl years ago when it came out. Tetris song. And there was another one that I put, and my mate would come over because he didn't like it. I can't think what it wasn't Tetris. It was another one, and he would come over and say, "What's this? Shh. What's this?" Shh. He'd shout from the other side of the room.
I love your shows, Chris.
Thank you very much, Natalie. You're very kind. Do either of you work or what?
No, we just do volunteering work.
Right, okay.
So I'm volunteer for a project called Gig Buddies, which Natalie is part of.
What's that?
Gig Buddies is a scheme for people who've got learning disabilities who can't necessarily go out and be sociable. So I know you do your karaoke nights.
Yes.
But there are people that have got learning disabilities that aren't confident to go and do those things.
Right.
So they would be buddied up with somebody to bring that person to an event.
Yes.
Karaoke, disco, going to the cinema, going to concerts.
What about
all
bingo?
Sorts of different things.
What about bingo?
Bingo.
We've got bingo. 4 and 3, 43. Red 7 and 9, 79. Yellow 1 and 2, 12. Depends. When you go to do that at the seaside, they have colours as well. Yes.
Yes, I've heard that.
When
I
you go to
that when we were in Weymouth.
That's right. When you go to... Now, tell me, Weymouth, actually, while you're there, I was watching a YouTube video tonight. This bloke goes round Pontins. You know, different Pontins? Remember Pontins holidays?
The channel's Walk With Me Tim, isn't it?
That's the one. Yes,
I watched that because he did the one in Prestatyn, and then he's been to the Grand Hotel in Llandudno.
Yeah.
Both places I've been to and thought they were absolute dives.
Yeah.
And I'm quite glad that he agreed with me.
Well, this is what's happened to the Pontins. It appears at some point they were sold out. Someone bought them up, and it looks to me like they will just continue opening them and take every penny they can until they can't sell the holidays anymore, which has got to be close down the road there. And then they're just, I don't know what they do with them. But this particular one I was watching tonight was... the hotel had already been sold to someone, and the hotel was called Riviera. Now, was that the one in Weymouth or not? Riviera.
I don't know because I've not seen his latest video. I need to catch up with them. So
okay.
I will be watching that later, and I'll let you know on the message in the morning.
Yeah, please do. Let me just check that it was his channel for you, because that would be in my history thing, wouldn't it? Hang on a minute. History. Pontins. Yes, it was Walk With Me Tim. Walk with me, Tim. It is that one. Yes, I stay at an old Pontins hotel in Weymouth. Right. So Weymouth, and it's like this. It's the most amazing building. Right. It goes right along the top of this sort of cliff type thing. Okay, and it's all white, and at night all these blue lights come in and light it up, and it looks like someone bought it, so it's not called Pontins anymore. But they've kept the name of the hotel, Riviera, right, which is kind of in the middle. It's like a, how can I explain? Like a tower in the middle, like a sort of small tower block in the middle where it says Riviera, and then either side of that is this amazing looking hotel. It's very Art Deco, really, or whatever you call it, something like that. And clearly inside they've started doing up some of the rooms. This particular room he's in, it's actually quite nice. They've done the bathroom up to a very nice standard. Not something that we used to be able to see. We used to see at Pontins years ago. But the outside of it is falling apart. It's absolutely falling apart. And you would look and feel, oh my God, I don't want to stay there. And it's just a shame, because I stayed there when I was a child, 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there. Yeah. And it was just fantastic. I must tell you, that's where I won a junior Pontins talent competition. I'm very pleased at that. Well, I didn't win it. I was second out of 3. But nevertheless, I was second out, and there was only 3 of us in it.
Anyway, Chris, I'm going to let other people call in. It was lovely speaking to you.
I haven't finished my bleeding story
enjoy
yet.
listening to the rest of the show.
Bye.
Everybody says goodbye.
I didn't finish the bloody story then, and he was gone. Did you notice that? It was like he didn't want to hear it. Blimey, I shall remember that, Mark. You've obviously... Did I bore him to tears? Has anyone else fallen asleep yet? Oh, dear me. At least let me finish the bit of the story. I was saying, so I was second in this competition, and I went to choose a prize. And first of all, I said to this lady in the shop, because you get a voucher, you see, and I said to this lady in the shop, I think I'll have some batteries. She said, what, with your prize? She said, no, don't have batteries, have something else to remember your thing. So I chose a Shirley Bassey album. I was 13 years old. I chose this Shirley Bassey album. I think that's where it all started going wrong, you know. Anyway, if you want to watch that, it says, I stay at an old Pontins hotel, and the YouTube channel there is Walk with Tim. All right. If you want to call in, that line's open now. 020-8144-3477. Hello to Ross Padtelt. Dr. Spin. It was Dr. Spin. Just a reminder, we don't take any anonymous calls, okay? You must send your number in, okay? You must send your number in when you're making that call, or the call won't be taken, all right? Ross Patzel says, Ambassadors as Funk did Super Mario Land, was also one, dear. Well, it might be that one. I can't remember now, Ross. Can't remember that. No, can't remember that one. Oh, Ross is on the line now. Good evening to you, Ross, all right?
Good evening, or good morning.
Hello, I've sussed out the equipment now. You're coming through. I've got like 2 faders here, and the call used to come in on a different fader. I think something's gone a little bit wrong with the sound card, but I'll have it set up proper like for next week, okay? I've just got a message here from Mark, who we spoke to earlier. He said, I thought you'd finished. Dear me, I can't tell a story in 30 seconds, Ross.
No. You can take as long as you want with me, dear.
Pardon? Oh, I see what you mean. On the phone. I beg your pardon.
On the phone, yes.
I wonder what you were talking about then, Ross.
I'm going to have to be a little bit quieter tonight because they're all asleep upstairs, but right. I can still talk to you for a little while. You talk about the Walk with Me Tim videos?
Yes.
Well, he lives just down the road from me, and his wife is a singer called Gabby Starbuck. She does a lot of holiday camps and stuff like that.
What does she do?
And, what?
What does she actually do?
She's a singer.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but he's done loads of reviews and walking around sort of videos all around Norfolk, and they're really good, really interesting videos.
Yeah.
The last time we went to Pontins was, oh my God, when I was about probably about 10, something like that.
Oh wow!
I haven't been since, but I've heard a lot of bad things about them. They're on their last legs, I think. But,
did you never think about taking your family there as you went there as a little boy?
No, never. No, I wouldn't. No, because I read all the TripAdvisor reviews, and they're just not very good.
Okay.
So I've chosen not to go there. No, we do Butlins and go abroad and places like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes Haven.
I was going to say, Butlins. They kind of kept on top of it, didn't they? They never let their places go. And Pontins, because Pontins,
they invest.
Yeah, when we used to go to Pontins, there was this whole catalogue of so many holiday camps. I don't know how many they had at their high point. It must have been 10 to 15 different holiday camps all over the country. And they had Pontinental, where they actually had Pontins, I think in Spain. There were two, I'm sure there were two of them. Pontinental in Spain. And you could go over there, but we never did that.
That's probably why, because they probably had too many different sites, couldn't maintain them, standards go down. And because Butlins used to do that. Butlins used to have quite a lot more sites.
Right.
They had one in Wales, one in Scotland. Oh, there was about 10, I think. And they closed some of them.
Yeah.
And then just concentrated more on the three that are remaining. And we prefer Butlins. That's good value for money. And they invest, and there's always new things every year. Whereas Ponton does seem very run down, and the standards over the last few years have gone down. Well, I personally don't know, but that's what I've read on TripAdvisor, so I just stay well away.
I'm booked in to go to Butlins, me and my nephew and his family. First, what's the date? I'll tell you what the date is. Now, I'm going to tell you the date here. I don't want you blooming turning up with your family, expecting freebies from me. You know what you like, dear.
I know.
Dear. And I do hope they do ice creams at the time. When is it? It's on the 12th of December for a week.
I can't get December off work anyway, so you'll be safe.
It's £160, like for the room for 2 adults and 2 children, and I'm paying about £130 for mine. That's amazing, isn't it? But that don't include food. You can sign up to like a meal deal type thing where you get a lunch or a dinner and a breakfast. So you get a breakfast and either a lunch or a dinner, but not both. But we looked at the prices and we thought they were quite pricey. I don't know. But you said to sign up for the dinners, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. We do it every time. We do premium dining every single time.
Oh, it's all right for you.
And it is the best food we've ever had on holiday. There is so much choice.
Right.
There's everything you could think of. We do breakfast and tea. And there's everything you could think of.
So you just have the breakfast and the nighttime meal, but not the lunch.
No, they don't do a lunch. They don't do a lunch one.
Oh, they don't do it. Oh, this was
not on premium dining. No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's all in the restaurant. You can. There is one called Dine Around where I think you can go in into the other restaurants on the site, but we prefer the premium dining because that's all buffet style, and you can just go up and get what you want and get try different things out, and that's good. You'll love it. It's brilliant.
Can you say so? If we're going for 4 nights, could we book the dine-in for 2 nights, or do you have to do?
You have to do it. So.
Oh, you have to do your whole thing. Right,
no, you can't. You could. It is cheaper if you book it before you go for the whole of your break. You can also pay to go into the restaurant. If you just say what to go in there on the Tuesday and the Thursday night, you can pay on the door to go in, but that is a little bit more expensive than if you did the dine and plan before you went.
Right. I've just got a message from someone here. We were talking about that Pontins in Riviera and Merlin. You know Merlin, don't you? Merlin?
Yeah, the attraction, like Alton Towers and that, yeah.
Merlin. He says, no, the person Merlin. He did some radio work. I think he still does radio work somewhere. No, anyway, he says, used to work at the hotel in Weymouth. First job on reception, used to be a stunning location, but like everything, got the life squeezed out of it. Yeah, that's the one. It's right on top of this. You've got to look it up, Ross, on your computer. Riviera Hotel, Weymouth. You want to see where this is positioned, but it's all falling apart. Are you having a look now, are you?
Yeah, I know. Hold on.
Oh, I didn't realise you were all standing by in front of a computer or something like that. Very prepared, dear. Very prepared. Huh?
Very, very organised.
Yeah. What do you say? It's a great long building on top of a not a mountain. We call it a hill.
Oh.
See it? Isn't it fantastic? That's absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you, Merlin. Wow, marvelous.
That nice.
Marvelous.
That looked like what is that a holiday camp or just a hotel?
Well, no, that's the front part of it, right? That's the bit you can see from the hill, and behind it they had basic pontins, chalet type things. I think we were probably in one of the chalets rather than in the main part of the hotel. It was great. All those places were great, you know.
Well, they used to have a Butlins hotel in. Oh God, where was that?
Yes, I remember.
They're still there, but that's now. I think that's there.
Has it gone?
Oh, where was that? I think that was Brighton. I
Was
think
that-
that was Brighton.
Was that one of those adults only places?
No, that wasn't. No, I don't think so.
Okay, because there's a few of those. There is another holiday company now. I ordered the magazine. Here it is. Potters. Have you heard anything about Potters? Potters.
They're around the corner from me.
Are they really? Right. Well, these are fully inclusive. Now, it says, for example, now a lot of these seem to be adults only. I don't know why this is adult some and we adult this, adult that. So, but I don't know what the family.
They do family breaks, but that is very expensive there. But it's meant to be one of the best places in this country to go. We haven't been, but that's just round the corner from mine.
Oh, do you know? I keep banging my nose on the microphone somewhere. Here we are, family.
Big.
Pardon? Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Let's have a look. So, for example, let's go in May, half term in May, all inclusive, 4 nights, Monday the 29th of May next year, 4 nights, all inclusive. It says 589, 469, or 439. Now, I don't know what. Now, is that per person or the room?
That'll be probably that'll probably be per person, to be honest with you.
Wow,
that's expensive.
That's quite a lot of money.
Expensive there, but I'll tell you why it is expensive, because all your food and drink is included.
Right.
Obviously, the entertainment's included, and all of the activities are included. So you can there's so many different activities there.
Yeah.
You don't pay for anything once you're there. It's a bit like an all-inclusive holiday. So the price you pay is pretty much that's it. You won't need any more spending money.
Yeah,
but it is a lot. But that is meant to be a lovely place.
I had to look
shows are meant to be brilliant.
I had to look at some of the reviews, and the food is second to none. You see, that's how it used to be at Pontins. You couldn't get half. What's it called? You know, the breakfast and dinner. What's that called? Half break.
Half board.
Half board. You couldn't get half board. You just paid your money, and that was it. And all this lovely food, and it never been mucked around with. This was the days, of course, before Chinese and curries and all that. It was all English food. No, there was nothing foreign in there at all. And it was just so nice. Cooked breakfast every day. And they'd sit you on a table with another family. And you'd, get to know and know them and become friends and whatever. Hey, I wonder what happened to some of those people, I suppose.
You get what you pay for, you know that, don't you?
You do, yeah. You get what you pay for. That's
so
true.
If you get £50 per person holiday, you're going to be in an absolutely awful chalet and stuff. You know, you get what you pay for. You know that. So. Everyone knows that.
You're absolutely right, Ross. Well, thank you
pay
so
more,
much.
You get more.
Thank you so much for dialing into my circuits this evening. It's been a pleasure to hear your little voice.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.
You too. Thanks, Ross. Bye. There we are, Ross in Norwich this evening. Bit of a fan of Butlins. Thank you, Alex Burrows, who's tuned in this evening. He's in London. He's a bus driver, Alex. Evening to you, Alex. Welcome along to the show. Mark J says, I've seen the Riviera Hotel in Weymouth. I stayed at the Weymouth Bay Haven. Yes, that's next to it, Mark. That's right next to it, isn't it? That's absolutely right next to it there, and had a nice time there. Thank you very much, Ray. Who's on the... Mark. Who's on the phone now, please?
Hello, Chris. It's Dan. How are you?
Good evening, Dan. Whereabouts are you?
I'm in the Royal Berkshire of Maidenhead and Windsor.
Oh, you're not too far from me. Now, isn't that the same place as where the delightful Theresa May lives?
Exactly, it is. Well, she lives probably about 20 minutes just outside Maidenhead.
Do you ever see her?
Do you know what? I actually have never seen her
how
in all the
disappointing.
5 years I've lived in the area.
For some reason, I thought you was in London. Why did I think you were in London?
I work in London, so I work, as I'm sure you remember, as Chairman for Defence and Security for Parliament.
Oh, right, okay. Do you have to go into work, or are you doing that from home at the moment?
All from home.
Can you hear this? You can hear that, can't you? You know what that is? That's my mince. I have a little thing of mince here. When I think someone's going to
Pilos.
Yes, when I think someone's is going to talk quite nicely for a long time on the phone, I pop one of these in my mouth and have a little bit of a suck while you're talking.
It's better
which
than
is
what you
very,
normally
very
put in your
pleasure.
mouth at the
My compliments.
Central Station.
I do hope you're not going to be rude on this worldwide family program, dear. Please don't be rude. Anyway, what you got for us, Dan?
Well, I was actually doing a little bit of research for a paper I'm writing before your show. We've had the sad news that Her late Majesty has left us, and
very sad.
King Charles has moved on, and also we've had a new Prime Minister, and some of the experts from the Defence and Security panel have been reviewing her a plan ahead, especially on defence and security. And it's quite interesting that she's pledged 157 billion to be invested extra into defence and security, which means we're potentially going to see an extra 42,000 boots on the ground. And
do you think that's a good thing then?
I think a stronger arsenal with the issues we've seen with Putin, I think, is absolutely vital. But the really interesting thing that the Royal Union Service and Institute, RUSI, have pointed out, her plan has one flaw: to be able to make it credible for the future. She's now got to continue that spending with a further increase of 3% by 2030.
What, per year or what?
That's over the period. So by 2030, she's got to do another 3% of the entire budget.
And do you think that'd be enough money?
Well,
because
I
whenever
think one of the main issues we've got is our services has depleted. We're now moving very much away from on the boots to a strategic platform of submarines, as obviously we have always been a marine nation, but we're moving away from ships to submarines.
I heard, I read something the other day about those submarines. Now, we've got nuclear weapons in this country, but what I didn't realise, according to this report, and you'll be able to answer this if you're allowed to answer it, of course, we might be on the secrets thing or something like that, but I discovered that all our nuclear weapons are actually in the submarines.
They are. So Trident
I didn't know
actually the name of the submarine.
Right.
And when the Prime Minister takes office, or the First Minister,
yes,
they have a choice of writing 3 letters.
Right.
Which are known as the Doomsday Letters. So in the event of a nuclear war that would render the capital's representatives unable to issue instructions, there are doomsday letters. The first letter is that the nuclear weapons are to be released without question, which is known as the MAD method, so mutually assured destruction.
Yeah. You shoot us. You destroy us.
You shoot us, we'll shoot you.
Yeah.
The other one is the Prime Minister places our nuclear arsenal at the disposal of an ally nation, or the third letter, don't fire at all. And they actually are expected to write that letter within 24 hours of taking Parliament, or taking over the government.
Right.
So our Trident is normally somewhere in the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
There is only 4 people in the entire world that will know where it is.
Haven't we got more than one submarine, though?
We do. So we have several,
right,
which form part of the Trident mechanism.
Each
normally holding between 4 and 6 nuclear missiles.
And when they will be anywhere in the world, and the other, whoever is our enemy, is not supposed to know where they are they?
They're not meant to. It was very recently, there was a Russian nuclear submarine that, according to the Kremlin, diverged off its prescribed course and ended up in the coast of Scotland, and was within, so around the UK and our waters, we have a 100-mile radius cordon zone. If you enter that, you will be shot without
fire
permission.
phasers.
Exactly. Thunderbirds are go.
Red alert! Red alert! Warning!
And they were
carry on.
150 miles from shore, and Trident was scrambled at that point, and they were rather politely, along with fighter jets, asked to leave.
Yeah, of course. Of course, blooming cheek. Weren't even invited in, dear. Don't mind if the pain rent.
I know, exactly. But, yeah, I must say the proclamations that have gone out, not sure if you've been seeing those on the news, have been absolutely fascinating to watch.
Yeah, with the bugles and all that business.
With the bugles and the various people.
Been watching those.
I've been asked a lot of questions about that proclamation from people, because obviously people have not seen it for many years.
Well, most people,
1952.
Most people who are alive now, certainly. I bet there's not a single person who's with us for the show tonight who ever saw it the first time around. But there were a couple of people in Central Station, actually, who were into their 70s, who remember, was it George before? George before Elizabeth, was it? King George?
Yes.
Yes.
They
George, remember,
their father,
they remember King George dying, you know. There's hardly anyone there. But you were mentioning about the signing book, weren't you, the other day on our show?
Yes. Well, I actually did sign that, and you can do it online. And you can, what is beautiful, when you can actually preview before you submit it.
Yes.
And it says, would you like to take a screenshot so that you can memorise it?
Yeah, keep it. Put it on your Facebook. Facebook and all that. Well, according to the Mail, you can also go round. You can actually walk past the coffin when the Queen's lying in state. Now, the Mail is reporting well-wishers are warned they'll face queues lasting hours as, and it says, up to 325,000 mourners are predicted to pay their respects as the Queen lie in state. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. All you get to do is walk past the coffin. Well, I say all you get to do. That's the closest probably most people will have ever been to the Queen. I think it's a great thing of respect to do that. But they're saying anything up to 325,000. I think there's going to be a lot more than that.
I think there will be, because there's a lot of... So I think the last estimate, there was something like 100,000 bouquets just in Green Park alone. And that's not including, obviously, Balmoral and everything else. There's heart-shaped... so when they've taken them, obviously, from the front of Buckingham Palace, they've placed them out and put them into kind of what you might call a flower show, I suppose, of some sorts, where it's they've made heart shapes and put them in rows, and it was on the news this afternoon that people can go around and read every single card that people have left.
It's nice, isn't it? Trouble is, flowers don't last forever.
No,
and they start
true,
becoming all soggy
does,
and
that's an example of Our Majesty that sadly she couldn't last forever either.
No, she's one of those people that has always been there for all of us, really. And
well, she's been the only steadfast thing we've had for many years.
Oh yeah. But 325,000, they say. I think there's going to be more queuing than that. Now, I was talking to my friend who comes in the pub that I work, and he works in Parliament. And he said last time, when it was the Queen Mother, you could do the same. You could walk past her coffin and just nod your head, and then you're sort of done, so to speak, not making anything light of that. You know, it's just how it is. And he said there were some people in that queue for 24 hours. You know,
I wouldn't be surprised if there's people, because obviously the Queen's coffin, obviously last I checked, obviously I don't know if they've got there. I know it was a 6-hour trip from Balmoral.
Oh, that was to Edinburgh.
On its way.
That was to Edinburgh. It's in Edinburgh now, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is.
Yeah, it's in Edinburgh now, and then it comes down here. I'm not quite sure what day it comes here. Hang on, let's have a look. Public had their first chance to visit the closed coffin from Sunday, which will be at St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh for 24 hours before travelling to London. So I think it's coming down either tomorrow
today,
or Tuesday. Today. And it says her body will lie in state at Westminster Hall from 5 o'clock on Wednesday until 6:30 a.m. on the morning of her funeral. So that it sounds like a long time, but I just think, with the amount of people that will be wanting to do that, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that.
I must say, I wouldn't be surprised if people, honestly, even tonight, are camping outside Westminster.
Oh yes, I bet they are.
I would not be remotely surprised whatsoever.
No, I bet they are. I think you're absolutely right. Yeah.
But it was so interesting to see the proclamation. So, as a freeman of the City of London, it obviously mentioned in the proclamation that the Lords spiritual and temporal proclaim Prince Charles, now King Charles, and it mentions the term alderman. Most people have never heard that term.
No.
Thankfully, I can consider myself, I am an alderman of the City Court. So many people, when you see it, you've been asked the question, well, what do you do? It's basically just another word for councillor. The City of London just call them something different.
Yeah. Did you see?
It's been so interesting.
Did you see the funeral cortege coming through all of that beautiful countryside in Scotland, isn't it? Eh?
Absolutely. You can understand why Her late Majesty chose to use Balmoral. Obviously, yes, it's a private estate, and absolutely lovely that they've got something like 100 acres of open land, but just all of Scotland, it just seems something like out of a fairy tale.
It's beautiful. You see, I always would like to live somewhere like that. I've always said I wanted to live somewhere like that, but actually I had a sort of opportunity about 3 years ago, not Scotland, but Lincolnshire. It was fairly out there, all on its own, and then I just realised how lonely you must be just doing something like that on your own. Now,
that was the thing I was just thinking of. Surely, eventually, although it's peaceful, restful, that you can get enough of that in the sense of that eventually surely must get boring.
It must do, yeah.
And being yourself, Chris, you can't sit still for 5 minutes.
Oh, you know me too well.
And you've got to be doing something. Hence why you've started this fabulous show, rather than doing your YouTube channel.
I've only that'll still be on Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock on Wednesday nights. But I thought this was a bit different. The trouble is trying to do on a phone-in on a YouTube channel, and I mentioned this on the show the other morning. There's also a chat box thing there, and you come out with all these different subjects. And you can always go on to something else if you want, that's fine. And you're chatting away about all these subjects, different bits and pieces, this, that and the other. And people are talking to each other in the chat box, but not really joining in. You kind of think, well, what's the point of this? It's just like a glorified chat box. You know what I mean? And
it makes it very difficult for you as a host to be able to kind of create continuity to the content if, frankly, what you do see, sadly, obviously with the digital age of where we are, people using it to be keyboard warriors as well.
Oh, keyboard warriors. We don't have too much of that problem on here, to be honest. I noticed a few people are complaining about people putting vile things about Her Late Majesty on their Facebook. You see, I don't really see any of that because I've already blocked these people. There was someone put this thing on there. Actually, I spotted this today. I was going to repost it, but I didn't. Someone put on there today, the people being vile towards Her Late Majesty are saying that not many people are moaning at them, and they put that's because we've already blocked them all.
Well, I think it's really interesting that. And myself and Chris, we often talk on the phone and have the pleasure to do so off air. And we were saying this quite often. I think we both agreed that it somewhat comes from a degree, whether or not they'll agree to this statement, but of jealousy.
Yeah, I think that it's because they haven't got what she's got. I mean, I don't think all that money and all that. She was just an ordinary person to me. She didn't shove it. You know, like some of these Z-list celebrities, and God knows there's enough of those on there. They can't wait to flash in your face the gold rings or the Rolex watch or the Louis Vuitton trainers. She just acts like it's a normal thing. And I think that's might be why we like her so much.
She didn't let it go to her head.
There was no grandeur about her at all. She just used to mix.
Quite often these people that flash their Bugatti Veyrons and their Rolex. Warren Buffett, who's one of the most wealthiest investors in the world, first invested in Coca-Cola when it first came back, made a very famous quote many years ago, and I've always loved it, is most of these people are doing it because they haven't got any money anyway. So they've got to try and pretend they do.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I've seen people say. If you're rich, you won't see those people walk. If you're proper rich, you won't see these people walking around in, as I say, the Louis Vuitton trainers. Right now, I used to do this job in very near Oxford Street. Very near Oxford Street, right? I used to do a karaoke night. This was about 5 years ago. A place called the City of Quebec. Okay, now. Across the road was this massive Primark, might be their flagship stop or something like that. And in that shop would be very rich-looking Arab-type people, okay? And they'd be in there with suitcases buying all this stuff. They wouldn't be in, like, Harrods or Selfridges. They'd be in there. I don't think the really rich people buy this stuff. It's only the people that want to look rich who aren't.
Well, so now you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. There's a big. There's supposedly, obviously, sadly, poor people like me don't quite fit the category for it.
I wouldn't say you were poor. I wouldn't say you were poor. More peasant-like.
Exactly, peasant. Yeah, definitely peasant. Rodent. Yeah. Is that obviously you are meant to 20% for expenditure, and so much percentage of your salary is meant to go for savings and obviously your wealth and things like that. And if the only way you're going to stay wealthy is if you don't spend it.
Yeah.
So why would you spend? I don't know, £400 on a pair of trainers.
400? Do you not know how much a pair of Louis Vuitton trainers?
I know, I have no idea.
Go in Selfridges, start at about 800 for a pair of bleeding trainers. You know where I get mine from, don't you? Amazon. Amazon, dear. £11.99, including delivery. Actually, do you know where I went today? I went to Primark after church this morning. I went into Primark. I wanted a pair of slippers. I was going to order on off Amazon, but I'm trying to pull myself away from that because actually it's not cheap. Amazon is not cheap.
Always,
I went into Primark. And I'm going over to the looking for the slippers, right? Because my last pair of slippers here, the bottoms have unstuck. And it's really dangerous because if you move your leg in a certain way, the bottom of them sort of kind of flips over and you go arse over a blooming tit onto the floor.
So what I'm hearing there, Chris, is the bottom's falling out, which reminds me of something else.
Well, I've not had a prolapse, if that's what you're saying. Anyway, so on my way to finding those, I came across these jumpers. And oh, that's a nice jumper. And I bought a grey one, and there's a blue one there, and I bought a blue one, which was thinner, right? So I've got two jumpers now across my arm. Oddly enough, one is large, okay, and the other is 2XL. Isn't that weird? They're different blooming sizes, depending on, I don't know, what colour it is, I suppose, but quite nice jumpers. And, incidentally, all made out of recycled plastic bottles, it says there. I don't know how they do that. Isn't that clever? They take a plastic bottle and make a jumper out of it.
It's brilliant to see things being able to be reused.
Oh, yeah.
But that definitely is the challenge, I would say, with Primark, TK Maxx. You do have to check it, because you would assume, naturally, if it's on the same kind of clip-on peg that you see the shoes on, they're going to be the same size.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not. And then I went over and I found the slippers, and I found a pair that I wanted, and I thought, foolishly, they've printed white on yellow on some of the sizes. Well, you can't see it. Can't see the blooming writing, idiots, right? So I picked up I think they were medium ones. No, they were too tight. And then the next one's up. It said 10 sizes 10 to 11. I thought, well, I'm an 8 or 9, but I put them on and they were the most comfortable, so I picked those up. So I went to the till, so we got a pair of slippers and 2 jumpers. Thank you very much. £20. 20 quid!
Good value.
20 quid, thank you very much, yeah. Because I'm getting new jumpers in now, ready for winter, because we're not having any heating on, dear. Good God, no.
No, it's too blooming expensive. You got to have some money to.
No heating going on here. Anyway, thanks for calling in, Dan. Pleasure to talk to you.
Well, thank you for having me.
And you've taught me all about nuclear bombs this evening, my darling. I'm very happy to know that I'm not sitting on one here. Bye.
Pleasure. Bye-bye.
There we are, Dan calling in Maidenhead, Theresa May County, isn't it? 02081443477 is my local London call-in number if you want to call in this evening. Hello to John Marsh. Yes, he's asking what's the dial-in number. 02081443477. Hello to Ray Belasco. Evening to Ray this evening. He used to be in Bognor. Did you go to Bognor or Margate? One of those two, were you, Ray? I don't think I've ever been to a Butlins, strangely enough. I think I might have been to visit one for the day. I think my mum and dad took my nephew and niece, or nephews and niece. I'm not sure if they were if nephew Jimmy was around then. But certainly Gary and Tracy were there, and they took them to Butlins. I think it was Butlins. I'm not sure now. And I visited them for the day. You know what I mean? You can go into some of these places just for one day, can't you? All right. Gary Ross is there. He says, I've noticed a lot of people who follow Walk with Tim are very strange. That's why I stopped watching his show. I love it. Hello, who's on the line, please?
It's me.
Hello,
Vera's Choice in the Morning.
Hello, Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Well, I don't know it's you, do I, my love?
Oh, I don't know.
How do I know it's you? Your name is not inserted into my equipment. However, I will be able to correct that later now, I think. Where are you? I shall be able to correct that.
I want my name inserted into your equipment. Thank you very much.
Anyway, hello, Vera. It's Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. And this, if we've got any of the of our morning shows, people listening this morning, this will be the first time they've ever heard your little voice. So, hello.
Oh, I'm sure they've heard my voice before on karaoke.
Hello, Vera.
Hello.
How are you, darling? I didn't expect you to be up so late, actually.
Oh, I don't sleep. I
Oh, really?
can't sleep. Yeah, sometimes I don't sleep for 2 days. I'm going through that phase at the moment again.
When you say don't sleep for 2 days, what, not at all, or sort of a couple of hours?
Not at all, I just can't. I didn't sleep last night, so it's one of those things that's... I've got nothing on my mind, no worries whatsoever, but it's just something that just stops me sleeping.
And do you
Maybe
feel...
it's the weather.
Yeah, do you feel tired or not?
I do, but I tend to push myself through that barrier, hoping that at the end of the night, of the day, I will be able to sleep better. But then that's gone out the window. Because I tend to want to fall asleep at the wrong time, which is too early, because I know I'm going to be awake by the time I should be sleeping.
Have you not found that this particular show of my voice is helping you to fall asleep? No?
Well, funny enough, it did. I mean, I sort of went off for a little end of nod for about 10 minutes, and I realised, oh my God, I've missed Chris's show. And I came back to my senses, and then I realised that you were still there, and I hadn't missed you after.
Yes, still here, chatting away. I'm only here for an hour between 12 and 1. I just tried this out for 4 weeks to see how it's go. We did have someone asking, why have you decided to go on so late? And the answer to that is that's the only slot that was available, really. And that goes for the whole week. Generally, the slots on... I mean, I could have gone elsewhere and done it, but I prefer to be where I'm sort of happy. Do you know what I mean? Where once you know... Do you know what I mean? Once you know something, you tend to stick with it. So that's why here. But unfortunately, the only slots that were available were sort of after midnight. And they're only available because our lovely Alan Ross has got himself a proper gig on one of the commercial stations. He's just sent us a message here. He says, sorry, not heard much of your show, seeing as I'm doing other things. He's on the Nova Nova Liverpool, I think it is, isn't it? Or Nova Newcastle? Nova Newcastle, I think it is. He says he's listening between songs.
Well, he's going to get every other word, isn't he?
Yeah. There's a message for you here, Vera. Yes, it's from Ross Patzelt. Tell Vera I am like her and I just have nights laying there, cannot get comfy, and silly that thought, that means nothing on my mind. So annoying, and doing a driving job, I get stressed thinking I need to sleep. And you see that's the thing. You see, I don't really go through nights where I can't sleep, but I certainly do go through nights where I keep waking up every 2 hours. And when I wake up, I think, I might as well go and have a wee. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To sort of do something, really. But I'll tell you what I've been doing recently, Vera. I read somewhere that close your eyes. So imagine yourself lying in bed now. Well, you might be already.
I'm in bed.
Are you in bed now? Okay. Oh, cool. Alan Ross says, lovely to hear Vera's voice. Would you like her to sing as well? How about the Pussy song?
Oh, no, I'm not doing that on the radio. And this is not a robot. I am not a robot. I'm a real person.
She's a real person, Alan Ross. Who was it who came up to it? Oh, that was, oh, Lord. That was our friend who's in Turkey at the moment, wasn't it?
I know the chap. I can't remember his name now.
Why has his name gone out of my head? One of our Reach people. Oh, gosh. Johnny F.
That's it.
Johnny F. He didn't think you existed. He thought you was a robot, something made up. And then there you were, standing full frontal in front of him. Sorry, standing fully in front of him. I beg your pardon. And yeah, so I'll keep waking up every 2 hours. That being said, the last 2 nights I've slept fantastically. You know, it's odd, isn't it? It's odd. But
it is odd.
I do
suppose
feel
it's down to what you have as well, food-wise. I mean, cheese, I love cheese, and I tend to have too much of it, and that keeps me awake at the nights as well. So
yeah, but
stay away from cheese.
Do you think that's a thing, or is it just something that someone's told us before, that cheese keeps you awake?
No, it is a thing, because I've experimented on myself, not in a drug-induced way. I mean, I tried with various food to find out which food I can avoid. Yeah. And sometimes tea as well tends to keep me awake all night.
I bought this lilac spray stuff that you spray on your pillow. The first time I did it, I sprayed it all over the pillow. I thought that'd be lovely, and I got in my bed. I put my head on my pillow, and it was all wet. I'd overdone it, unfortunately.
Well, it's not, as long as it's not that toilet duck aftershave that you wear or used to wear.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's your blooming nose. You just don't like it. It's lemon. It's very expensive. Occitano or something like that.
Look at the name of it. I mean, it tells you that it's supposed to be in the toilet.
Oh, you are awful, dear.
But I love you really, Chris. I really do.
Thank you, Vera. Have you got anything else to tell us before you go, my love?
I'm just going to say, glad to know that you're going to be around once a week at night, and I'm looking forward to the next show. Yeah,
next, I'll still carry on doing my morning one and Wednesday night video thing. But, certainly the next 4 Sundays. I booked up the next 4 Sundays because you have to give it a fair old crack of the whip and just see what happens. We've done all right tonight so far, but sometimes you start something new and the first one will go well and then it kind of towels off. So we'll just see what happens. And there's a message here from Mark J. Says, lovely to hear Vera on the radio. There you go.
Oh,
Ross Patzelt says, Vera has a lovely voice. She should do a show on Reach on Air. There you go, look. Someone wants to hear you more. I'm
going to say it quickly. I'm looking into getting a few equipment. I've seen what I wanted, and it's in the pipeline. Just watch this space.
Are you thinking of doing something like that then?
Yes, I'm thinking of joining Richard at some point.
You're not the only one, actually. There was another lad earlier, you might have heard, with Dan. He really wants to do it. I believe he's already signed up a account thing, but at the moment he can't get his laptop to. He can get the mic going, but not the music. Now, if, I need to be in front of it to have a look. So I might pop over there either tomorrow night or another night during the week because I'm a little bit. Tomorrow I've got the water people coming, the water board to have another look at the pipe. This is the water board, not the plumbers. Okay, the water board,
Right.
you want to come and look at their meter and say, yes, it's still your problem, or it's our meter. But this time I've got insurance now, so I'm hoping it's going to be fairly smooth and all paid for, because I don't want another blooming very expensive bill. If you don't know what all this is about, I've had a water leak, boys and girls, in my main incoming water pipe, and that was fixed some time, not long ago at all. Well, there's another leak somewhere else, and I spent a fortune last time, and I don't want to have to spend that again. So they'll be coming tomorrow, and assuming if they come early enough, that I can have my little sleep in the afternoon and then pop down to Maidenhead and look at Dan's equipment, see if he can use what he's got or whether he needs something else, and help like that. Happy to do the same for you, of course, Vera. The more the merrier. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
All right, darling?
Well, I'm going to love you and leave you. You've only got 4 more minutes. I don't know who you can call in now for 4 minutes, but you never know. You might get Dan calling in.
I think it's 3 more minutes. There's only about 3 more minutes left. Thank you, Vera. Lots of love to you, darling.
Take care.
Bye now.
Soon.
There we are,
Bye.
Vera calling in London. I can take one more call just in case anyone else wants to call in. 0208 144 3477. You don't have to be quick though. DJ Di says, loving the show and hearing Vera. So what's the choice later? Now, Di, you're jumping the gun, my darling. You'll have to listen tomorrow morning. We can't give it all away. You know, that's like me taking you out to dinner and having the pudding and the main meal and the starter all at the same time. Got to string it out for as long as possible. Dear me. And DJ Di says, I love the Mr. Duck aftershave. Now, I've got to tell you, Di, I don't buy aftershave. Hello to DJ Dave Squires, who's also enjoying the show today. Thank you very much, Dave. Yes, I don't actually buy aftershave myself, Di. It's generally gifts. And this particular brand has been gifted to me a few times, actually, by my mate and his ex when they were together. Generally, Christmas or birthday, we'd get this lemony aftershave. It was really nice. Actually, great nephew James absolutely loves it. He's 5 now. The last time I saw him was... blimey, back in the spring, I think it was, and he kept coming up to me because I put a little spray on before I went into my sister's house, and he kept coming out, lemons. He goes, lemons. Mummy smells of lemons. Why don't you smell of lemons? And I said, well, lemons keep falling on my head. And of course they believe you, don't they? Children come out with the funniest things ever. They really come out with the funniest things. Now, what was it George was saying the other day? I'm just trying to think now. Great nephew George was saying something the other day. Do you know, I can't remember now. But they just randomly come out with some really funny things, don't they, children? Hello to... yes, so that's who buys me this lemon aftershave. You know, unfortunately, they're not together anymore, so I think that might be the last bottle because I'm far too tight to go out and buy stuff like aftershave for myself. No, honestly, I don't really wear deodorant. I think that's got stuff in it. I tend to think, you know, if your body is like leaking out perspiration, then there's a reason for that. You know. I believe there's a reason for that, and you shouldn't stop it coming out. That's only my personal things there anyway. And anyway, Chris in Farnborough says, good morning, Chris. Hopefully you enjoyed your new show. Yes, I've had a nice time tonight. Thank you very much. Just chatting away here. And he says it was great to put a voice to Vera's choice in the morning. Sleep well, Chris. So thank you very much. Thanks very much for listening. We'll do this again next Sunday night at midnight. Thanks for listening.